Good morning. My name is Chip Taylor, and I'm coming to you from Zalisi, Ukraine, in southwest Ukraine. We are a small organic farm where we produce ingredients for organic ingredients for Mexican food, peppers, tomatoes, um, varieties of corn, zucchinis, and that kind of stuff. In one of our smaller greenhouses, this is actually our first greenhouse. This was the one we did first. And anyway, what I want to talk to you about is got nothing to do with greenhouses or Mexican food, but it has to do with change, making change. To keep a long story short, I got um, sober in 1987 after suffering for a number of years with drug addiction and alcoholism. And not going into the story leading up to this point, but I was put in a position to where I could make change. I could, if I wished, change my course. And the way that it was explained to me is basically all I had to do was the same thing that the people who were talking to me, the same thing that they did. They were also in recovery for their addictions, and they said this method works if you do A, B, and C the same way that we did A, B, and C. You will get the same results that we got, and it worked. And I haven't had a drink or a drug since then. That's coming up on 34 years, I guess it is now. And so I use that same method several times to do a few different things. Um, Basically, what is the problem? A, B, or C? Let's say A is the problem. And how do I solve that problem? Well, what I started doing is if I have this problem, I go to someone very similar to me who had the same problem, ask them what they did, and then I just do the same thing. And that method works for a lot of stuff. I went to college using that as an older, non traditional student. A lot of my family will know, and a good many of my friends. I was a competitive archer for years. And so what I did was I went to some of the top archers in the country and I said, how did you do this? And they said, we did A, B, and C. I did the same thing. I got the same results. Um, there's a few things like that if I do what was done by people previous to me to achieve this goal, I will get the same results. And that's one method of doing things, to making change. There's another method, and that is you look at the problem and you look at your assets and your skill set, your physical assets, your skill set, and what the goal is. And you can come up with your own solution. Now, that one takes a little bit longer, and sometimes it will not work. Sometimes you will fail. But it gives you an opportunity to do things in a different way, not necessarily follow the same path. And that's where innovation comes in. That's where um, new methods and often new results are also achieved. And when I came here to this farm in 2016, I made a list of physical assets. It's in my shop. I wrote it down, stuck it on the wall. This is physically what I have. I have some land. I have access to water. I have some materials, and that was the physical stuff. Then I had a skill set. What do I know how to do? And I wrote all those things down. And then what is the goal? What do I want to achieve? Now that part changed. Actually, the physical assets changed. The skill set changed because I pursued new training, new information, and that allowed me to do things differently, new things. I had to learn how to be a veterinarian. I had to learn how to be an electrician. I had to learn how to be a plumber. I had to learn to do a lot of stuff I didn't necessarily want to do, but it was necessary in order for me to achieve what it is that I thought I wanted to achieve. All at the same time, I'm treating other patients for alcoholism, drug abuse, PTSD, that kind of stuff. So there's several things going on at the same time. Plus, I'm a pastor, plus I'm a husband, plus I'm a father. And all of these things have priorities. Priorities don't necessarily change. Focus sometimes changes, but not the priority. And so, like what I'm doing right now with these peppers, I have physically a piece of land, and physically I have um, access to seed. I have access to this greenhouse. Not necessarily, I don't own the land. I'm on a lease, and I'm a steward. Let me put it that way. I'm here to take care of this piece of property. Um, and so what that allowed me to do is a little bit of freedom and a little bit of flexibility. But I didn't know a lot about growing peppers in this environment, and I never had a greenhouse before. And so I had to learn some stuff. I went on YouTube and I Googled several things, one of which was how do you make a living off a small piece of land, less than an acre? How do you do that? And got a lot of great ideas that I had not thought of. And then that has changed several times. What we started off doing, growing greens, leafy vegetables for restaurants, that did not work. And the prices are just not enough to support what we're trying to pursue here. And so what we ended up doing was finding something with a little bit higher value. Did a little bit of value adding, taking a product or taking a vegetable or something that we grow and processing it into either salsa or Mexican food of some type, tortillas, that kind of stuff. And that gave us a higher price, and that allowed us to, pay the electric bill and buy enough feed for the animals. We're not making a lot of money, but we're doing okay. We're able to we're able to keep food on the table and the lights on, and that's about it. But that's our priority. Um, Being rich and making money used to be a priority. It's not anymore. It was a long time ago. Here we're just trying to survive, and that's enough. It allows us to focus on family. It allows us to focus on the purpose that God put us here for, which is helping other people. And that's where the real satisfaction came from. All right. So if you are in a position where you're not exactly sure what you're going to do or where you're going to do it, I recommend first physically write down the assets. What do you have? What do you have access to? What do you own? What can you use? And then what is your skill set? What is your experience? What do you know how to do? And then if you can, if it's possible, pursue people who have actually done what it is that you're trying to achieve. And, with the internet and with YouTube and things like that, the access to information is huge. There's no excuse. There's other people that have been in your position with less, and they've been able to achieve their goals. Your goals may be different. I looked at a lot of companies that were doing basically the same thing, taking vegetables and processing them into a, a food type product that would be marketable. This company, Old El Paso, they started out canning tomatoes. Kentucky Fried Chicken, the Colonel started making chicken in the back of a filling station and selling it to vacationers. And the man was 65 years old when he started. It's hugely inspiring to me. And so, what is it that you can do and what is it that you want to do? Now, I don't necessarily want to pursue a huge industry in producing Mexican food because I got different priorities now. And the way that I look at it, I just turned 60. I've got a good 10 years, a good solid 10 years. I could die tomorrow. That's not what I'm saying. But, I'm 30 years is normal expected lifespan if I'm 90. And but a good solid 10 years of physically exerting myself in a necessary way in order to achieve some sort of stability here, and leave something for my son, teach him some stuff, and help the people that God has put in front of me in order to help them, same way He helped me. If this is something that you're interested in, hit subscribe, hit like, share it with your friends. You can contact me anytime, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. You can actually come out here to the farm, and we'll give you an internship. It's not a paid internship, but you can come out here and you can learn how to do some stuff. And that's pretty much how I got here. I hope you have a blessed day, and let me know if I can help.